So something just hit me. I got to ask this question. Something that came up a lot for me this week in my conversations with more specifically other men that I was kind of speaking into and coaching a little bit, and we're engaging with each other, had to do with this idea that surrender is the key to growth, you know, and the fact that we're striving and we I don't know about you, but for me, I have this problem of wanting to control situations, and I have like, I have,
never.
So like I want to control situations. I want to know that I'm on a path. It's like, all right, I'm okay to stretch myself. Or, you know, the old version of myself was, I'm okay to stretch and I have my limitations. You know, like as long as you don't get outside the box that I've kind of created for myself, you know, that's cool. In my work with plant medicine, this is something that like ayahuasca really, really brought to me, was surrender. And I had 3 journeys back to back to back that were probably the hardest 3 days of my life because I made them hard.
Isn't that funny how that works?
Because the medicine,
just go ahead and fight God. That's going to work out well for you.
The medicine was trying to show me, we don't have time to get into it all, but it was trying to show me a path. And it was trying to stretch me and get me to step in faith and realize that I couldn't. And all 3 journeys with their own process and their own reasons why, and like whatever. But the commonality between every single one of them was I needed to let go of control. I needed to surrender because God has a higher vision for my life than I even know. And the more I said, all right, I'll go with you, right? Because I'm on this journey. And I said, I'll go. Every single journey I did, every one of these journeys, the 3 journeys, I'd be like, all right, I'll go. And then it would keep pushing me. And it was almost like it was a reflection of life. We keep going, we keep going, we keep going. And then we hit that point where we're like, all right, this is where enough is enough. Like my trust runs out here.
Woo.
Right? my faith runs out here. And so then
that's visceral,
right?
Yeah, you can like feel the line,
like,
right?
Because you go, like we all say, let's act in faith. Let's go move. I'm stepping into air. I'm doing all these things. And then you get to that point where you're like, fuck.
Yes, the cliff.
That might be a little too far.
Yeah.
Or like the floor is not there. Like, will I fly? Well, is there like a floor there? Is it translucent? Like what's going on? You know, like, and you just got to step into that faith. And the thing with ayahuasca with me, and the reason and I know it's not the point of it, but like ayahuasca, once you feel it, you can't unfeel it, right? So there's one thing to be like, to try to convince ourselves, is one of the reasons I love working with plant medicine this way, is that because I could never get this experience and experience that what it means to actually have trust and faith, and then get the feeling after of the result of full surrender and actually it getting better due to the surrender. And like for me in the ayahuasca journeys, like I would go right to that point where it'd be getting worse and worse and worse. And I'd be like, all right, I'm going with you. I can get this. I can go this. We're on the same path. I've got the same vision. Let's go. And the journey is so real. And you're there, and then it goes, all right, I want you to do this. And you're like, fuck that. That's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
Right? I literally, I mean, it's crazy. And then as soon, for me, these 3 journeys in a row, I went through so much, like literally more emotional and physical pain, because it manifests, because pain is just in the mind, right? And like more physical pain, more emotional pain than I ever experienced. Each journey was more pain combined than I probably experienced my entire life.
Wow.
And as soon as I got to the point where I was like, okay, I can't fight this anymore, whether I want to or not, I can't. Like I had one experience where I literally got to the point where I experienced my own death.
Yeah.
And I got to live it and have the conversations with the people that I cared about.
Wow.
And then I had to surrender, because I got to the point where I was like, fuck, I'm dying. Like, I can't stop this. And I had to surrender, because you either go out in dignity and you surrender, or you like kick and scream like a little baby as you're going out, and nobody wants that, right? Like, and so I literally remember having the conversation, like, stop being a little pansy and like die with dignity. That was the word that I used. And I was scared because I was told you can't die on ayahuasca, you're totally safe, which is totally true, you know, but in the moment,
Doesn't feel like that.
in the moment, I was like, well, what if he was wrong? This feels so real, and like all these things. And when I let it happen, it just became such like a pillar in my life, that feeling of like everything I want is on the other side of surrender.
Wow.
You know, and it's not always easy, but and it was also a metaphor for saying the more you fight the surrender, the harder your life's going to get, the more pain you're going to experience. And once you let go and you can lean into the surrender and try to find the meaning in the surrender, then that's where the magic happens.
Wow.
What's been your experience?
That is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I resonate a lot with that. I had a DMT Bufo ceremony where I was met with the most amount of fear and pain that I've ever had in my entire life. And it's interesting because I wrote down one sentence before I went, and I said, my intention is to let go of the deeply rooted fear and pain that I've carried with me my entire life. So what do you think happened? I got
Careful what you ask for.
physically feel it's like, imagine all of the fear you've ever had in your life all happening once at the same exact moment times 30. And I had that, and I realized as well that I was dying and this was going to kill me. And then I thought in that space after everything's happening, wow, I died. Whatever we did in that room, I died. And this is it now. And I was in a different realm, and it went from that place of the deeply rooted fear and pain into then all of a sudden it was like an ocean of love. An ocean of love just surrounded me. And I thought, oh, that's what love is. I got to actually feel what love is for the first time. Like true, uninhibited, pure love from source.
Yeah.
And when I came back, first off, I was like, whew, I have a body.
I'm here.
And I had such a new appreciation for my body. I was like,
Yeah.
this human earth suit is so cool. The fact that we can like taste and touch and
amazing.
feel and sense, and we can move around in this 3D reality is such a gift. And when it's over, it's over. And that's beautiful too. But this right here is such a gift.
Yeah.
It gave me such a new reverence for my body. And that's why now I move, I eat, I nourish, and I try to really take care of this human earth suit that I have.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's cool that we can like upgrade it and do whatever we want. We can like, give it the full package, you know,
That's
the
great.
GT package or whatever. So that's why I'm like, you should take care of your earth suit. It's the one and only one that you have while you're here.
Yeah.
But also when I came back, I had the illusion of fear removed. So similar to what you're saying, the fear of like, this is where that ends for me. And I'm a human and I still kind of go back into that place sometimes. But it really removed, before it used to feel so real. Like the fear was so real. And what I realized, I was like laughing afterwards too. It was like, it was all a joke. It felt like a joke to me. Like fear, like it's the biggest lie. Like it's such a joke. Because the only thing that is actually real is love, and everything else is a misperception or an illusion. Because right beyond that fear of everything that I thought, I literally thought that I was dying. I think the other end of that was the most amount of love that I'd ever felt in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of relate that experience to like me before that.
Yeah.
And then there's the version after that.
Like reborn in a way.
And that's really where a lot of my foundational truths came from of I'm divinely loved, guided, and supported. Everything is happening for me. I came here on purpose. I'm here on a mission. My soul family is here. I'm not alone, right? It's like those foundational truths really combat all of those lies that can seep in when you're going through difficult times and can feel so real based on your human experience.
Yeah.
But when you realize that we're so much more beyond these human earth suits, you realize that you're seeing it from like such a surface layer perspective. Yeah.
Totally. What I got out of that too is, as I'm listening, is like you went through that experience and it gave you a feeling. You know, we were talking earlier, it's not what we say, it's how we feel about what we say, right? We could say all the right words, but you need to feel it. And so that feeling created a foundation for you, right? And that foundation, going back through this conversation, seems to be, and I don't know, I'd be curious to hear your intake or input on this, is like, it seems to me what I'm hearing is that that experience there became a foundation, not to say that you're always going to be perfect and you're not going to experience fear, but when you do experience fear, you have this foundation that you can go sit, meditate, lean on, and because you've felt it and you know it's true in your heart, in your soul, like you trust it. And so it gives you this safe space to go to.
Absolutely. Yeah, having direct experience, there's nothing else like it. There's really nothing else like it. And I had direct experience with Source one time in my bedroom. Zero plant medicine, zero THC, zero anything. And the best thing that I could compare it to would be like a psychedelic-like experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fully sober in my bedroom. Happened when I was going to church, still very religious.
Okay.
Just praying in my bedroom. And that direct experience, that's actually what opened the door for me of there's something so much more than what I'm being told in this building by this certain curriculum. And that's actually what guided me towards expanding my mind, expanding my horizons to go out there and search for that myself. It's actually what's tattooed on me because it was such an impactful day in my life.
I was going to ask what those tattoos are because I didn't think you had those tattoos last time I met you. Did
I
you?
don't think so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Will you share those with us?
Yeah. So this one is Hebrew, and I don't share what it means anymore, other than it reflects the most impactful day of my life where I had direct experience with Source, the experience I just shared.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, what Source said with me and then what I shared back.
I also honor that you're keeping that private.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
I often, and I think maybe this is a woman thing, when someone asks you a question, you answer it. When someone wants something from you, you give it, right? Sexually, relationally, business-wise, that's what we're taught.
Wow.
And so for you to hold a container for yourself of safety in that way, I will answer your question in love, and I will also hold my own boundary was really like tingly. Yeah, really beautiful. So thank you for that, how you handled that.
Yeah, it's sacred to me. And I have shared it before, but I realized that other people didn't have the perspective to hold the sacred essence of it.
Yeah.
So now it's something that I keep more to myself. I'll share generally, but
Sure.
Yeah. What a great role modeling of how to do that.
Thank
That's
you.
just rad. Thank
I
you.
appreciate that so much. I'm really big on boundaries.
Well, we all
In
can learn
general.
from that. We all can learn from that. Like that's not something that often is, it's not a tool that we picked up about how to do boundaries and how to also be loving and expose yourself and be vulnerable and share, but also protect your own sacred.